Hi guys, welcome to Wednesday. First and foremost, I want to wish my lovely assistant Jesselyn happy birthday. She is doing card readings for her birthday for tips on Twitter and Instagram. So if you want to follow her over there and get yourself a reading today and give her a great big tip for her birthday, her handle is at Sai Mecca, SAIMECCA. So get on over there. Happy birthday, Jesselyn. She's fantastic. She's so good to me. I had to give her shout out for the day. So yeah, the energy, man, I feel like there are two different types of people that are happening, like that are in the world right now. Those who don't know how to control their anger, those who don't know how to control this intensity that's happening. And for some of you, it's not even anger. For some people, it's not even anger. It's just intensity. Um, like I went to Sephora this morning because I ran out of a face serum that I need, like I need it now. Once you get to a certain age, hydration in your face is everything. So don't at me with that. Um, but yeah, I went to Sephora and the girl that checked me out, like usually they're all very sweet and kind. Everybody is in such a rush right now. Everybody is in a rush to get things completed. And she was kind of harsh with me. Like she was arguing with me about something that is so trivial. And I was just like, I just kept saying, okay, like, yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's great. I'll do that. And she kept telling me why I needed, like, even though I was agreeing with her, she was still arguing with me. It was very weird. So, and I, like, I'm going to be quite honest with you guys. I know my limits in this kind of energy, so I haven't had contact with a lot of people. Like I go to the grocery store, stay to myself, keep my earbuds in. I'm not going out in the public on purpose to do things. Like just because, like I'm not going out to hang out right now. There's absolutely no way in this energy that I would like go out to the bar to hang out with my friends or go out to, dancing or whatever just to have a good time. Not in this energy. Because people are volatile for absolutely no reason. It's like something will set them off real fast. So that's why I keep telling everybody to stay in their lane, stay in their lane. Today the moon is in Libra, and we have Libra's ruler, Venus, sextiling Uranus today. The moon is also going to be opposite Chiron. So with those kind of energies, you may have some wounds based on relationships or like the really, really deep ones that we don't talk about. Like I actually had sort of an aha moment when it comes to relationships earlier today. I was just driving along. Here I am, like driving along. And I had this thought of like sort of a revelation about what kind of relationship that I want to have. And I've never really been able to define it before. It was really interesting how it just sort of popped up, And my mind works in strange and odd ways. And I mean, like, ask anybody. I will have the most random thoughts in the world. And it's so like, I have ideas that I will never have the energy to bring into fruition, but at least I have the idea. Like I would be the best inventor if I had the energy, the follow through energy with like everything that comes up in my brain. So right now, if you're feeling like for some of you, you're feeling like you really want to tell people how you feel, and that's great. I actually said in the daily chart reading or the daily chart energies that I put up on the community tab, shoot your shot. Like if you want to tell somebody how you feel, now's the time to do it because old structures are breaking down. So the whole waiting for the right moment thing is no longer a thing. Like we're not waiting anymore to be happy. We're putting ourselves out there to do it. And if you are coming in contact with those angry individuals, I'm perfecting the nod and smile. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Because honestly, I'm not like I'm not going to engage with the people that are super stuck in their egos, right? And there's nothing that you can do about it. You can only control yourself. And I know I say that practically every single day, but I feel like we need the daily reminder. You can only control. I know I need the daily reminder. I remind myself all the time. I can only control what I can control, and that's it. And I need to stop trying to, you know what I mean? And a long time ago, well, not a long time ago, but I stopped controlling the way things go a while back, you know, and I'm like the person that's just like, it's just going to happen the way it's supposed to happen. And that's the way it is. The other thing, you guys, so, and I've said this a couple of times in like personal readings, and I mentioned it on Twitter yesterday. Humans don't hibernate the way that we're supposed to. And I know so many people are complaining about how tired they are right now. Seriously, guys, everything in the wintertime dies. The grass dies, the leaves die, the tree, you know, everything goes into hibernation in the wintertime. And I know for those of you that are in Australia, it's the summer right now. But for the people that are really, really exhausted and you're supposed to be taking, like, relaxing and chilling, humans are like, we were built to hibernate in the winter and we never do. And that's why wintertime is so much more exhausting, because we're not paying attention to our bodies need more rest. I would say on a regular night, like a regular evening or night, I need 5 hours of sleep to be functional and doing really well, right? Some people need like 8 to 10 hours of sleep every night. I'm the person that needs like 5 hours of sleep to be good. And I've even noticed in the last month that I'm sleeping like 8 and 9 hours every night. Like, I'm falling asleep at 9 o'clock and I'm waking up at like 5 or 6. So it's because I'm such an early riser. I do better in the mornings. I am an early riser. I get most of my day done before noon. You know what I mean? So, or I get the things to like keep me in order. Like, I get it all done before noon. So I'm that kind of person. So if you are really tired right now, please let yourself rest. I've decided I want to use different cards today. Please let yourself rest. Allow yourself to rejuvenate. You know, you need to have your energy for manifestation things and for like getting things going in your life. And if you're exhausted and overburdened, you won't be able to do that. See what I mean? And things are shifting right now. So for those of you that are really, really tired and you feel like you have to keep pushing, because if you don't keep pushing, it's like for those of you that feel like you have a deadline, like a hard and fast deadline, you're pushing, you're giving yourself like an extra shove or an extra push right now to get that stuff completed. And I want you to know that that burden of the weight on your shoulders right now is going to be lifting. There is some kind of shift that's happening for everyone. And a lot of us are feeling, I know I'm feeling this today. I'm feeling a shift. I actually started feeling it yesterday, but I'm still very, very tired and still having to really pay attention to my energy and how much I'm putting out there. But I am feeling a shift where the heaviness, right? The 10 of Wands. The Wheel of Fortune is a 10, right? It's card number 10. And then we have the 10 of Wands. So there are definite endings that are happening. Think about the stuff that's burdened you the most. You know, think about, that's the lesson that the Saturn and Pluto conjunction is bringing to you. That one thing that you keep on feeling the burden from. Some of you, it's a relationship. Some of you, it's an energy and a relationship. For others of you, it's a choice. For some of you, that burden that you're carrying is inside of you. It's more of an inward burden that you're really trying to heal. Right now, and it's so, I love that the balanced stuff came out while the moon is in Libra, because it is a really amazing time. Like, the moon represents your emotions and your self-care and the way that you should be, the way that you portray your emotions to other people. That's like what your moon sign is, or the way that you feel it on the inside too. You know, sometimes some moon signs don't portray their emotions on the outside, but they're very deep. They feel very deeply, right? So I love that, like, the Libra balanced energy came out without the Justice card even having to show its face. So we have the Lovers came out after the 10 of Wands. And then we have Temperance, and we have the 4 of Cups. And here's the thing, you guys. So I'm using the Modern Spellcasters Tarot today. I know people always ask me what cards I'm using, and I always forget. So I'm using the Modern Spellcasters Tarot by Melanie Marquis. It's one of my very absolute favorite decks. I've been using it probably since the beginning of me reading. I think it was one of the first decks that I bought, one of like the first 3 decks that I bought. The patience required right now is the patience and the inner peace that's required for you to be balanced is huge, because temperance isn't about just being patient. It's about making decisions, or it's about using your heart and your mind in all areas of your life, in all circumstances. You know, so if you have decisions, because and I keep saying decisions because the Lovers is not just about relationships. The Lovers represents Gemini. It is very mercurial. It's very it's very curious, right? Sometimes the Lovers is about making a decision in life. And a lot of times it is about coming into balance with your divine masculine and your divine feminine, right? Sometimes it's about siblings. Some of you may have a really burdening relationship with one of your siblings, and it's time to heal that. This is a very healing time for everybody. And if we were to harness that energy, harness the healing energy, and not focus so much on the negative aspect of things, you would feel so much better, right? If you stop focusing on how everybody else is so negative around you all the time, and you start focusing on what you need to accomplish for yourself, what is going to make you happy, when you start to focus on that 4 of Cups and you stop focusing on everybody else, the clarity and the shift in energy is so real. Like, I can't stress it enough, you guys. And if you're having a really difficult time learning how to focus, people ask me all the time, Betsy, how do I do that? I have 2 amazing workshops that are replays that teach you literally everything that I taught myself, that I learned from other people, other teachers, and I taught myself that inner peace. And I taught myself that if I wanted to manifest my best life, I had to see where my abundance is coming from today. We live in a world where we place ourselves in the spotlight on purpose. It's so funny because when I was younger, I never wanted to be in the spotlight. It was a burden for me to be pretty. And this is something that I actually put up on Facebook yesterday. It was a big burden for me to be pretty back in the day when I was younger, because I thought that that's all I had to offer to anybody. Nobody ever told me how smart I was. Nobody ever told me how talented, and I was a beautiful dancer. I was a very gifted and talented dancer as well growing up, but nobody ever told me how talented I was or how smart. I was on the honor roll. I was a straight A student. I was on student council. I was part of the homecoming corps. I was very, integrated into school, and I worked, almost full time doing all of that. But I was only recognized as pretty. Right? And that's a really big burden to put on somebody. So when you hold on to something like that for and that was only an example. Some of you were bullied in school. Some of you were the smart ones. Some of you, and this is the stigma that we were placed with as children, that we were programmed with as children and young adults, that we are now bringing into our adult age, and we're having to look at ourselves and release all of it. And that's what this Saturn and Pluto conjunction is giving us. It's an opportunity to heal the past and change our future, right? Wheel of Fortune. So let's see what this Wheel of Fortune. And for some of you, this is going to be one of those universal support moments where you can just kind of sit back and go, oh, finally. I feel so much freer. I feel like the weight has been taken off of my shoulders with Judgment and the Wheel of Fortune. Because you are allowing it. Like, I want to cry. I'm getting choked up a little bit with this. Because you have been wanting for so long for somebody to recognize how well you're doing, or your progress, or you wanted somebody to be proud of you. And then you realize that all along, all you needed was you to be proud. of you. And the universe says, congratulations, you've now graduated that level. Let's move on. You know, and that burden, right? The 10 of Wands. I mean, this is heavy. And that guy can't even see where he's going. So you've been doing this blindfolded. You've been doing this blindly based on feelings and emotions and what it is that you, like, what people are triggering from you, right? And you have to know, and somebody said this to me once, that when we pass away, when we transition, we are met with people who loved us in our lifetime, right? We are met with the souls of other people, or the spirits and souls and energy of other people that have gone before us. And I was told by a psychic medium one time that I was going to have people, when I cross over, apologize to me and say, I was a part of your journey. I was a part of your healing journey, and I had to be that person. Like, the same people that have lived many lives with me before had to come into this lifetime to be a particular trigger or a particular point in my life. And we forget often we forget that when we're angry or upset with somebody else, that we think, oh my God, this is so not fair. And it's horrible and it's horrific. And I can't believe I have to go through all of this. But it was written. It's part of we wrote it. We decided you are in charge of your soul's journey. You wrote down how the way you wanted to heal, the people that you wanted in your life, right? So we have the Knight of Swords and the Star on here. Sometimes that hurtful, angry energy can be very, very burdening for you. But when you realize, oh shit, all this time, that person was in my life to help me grow and evolve. And you recognize that you can forgive somebody. You could also be arguing with an Aquarius right now, which I wouldn't be surprised. You know, they have a lot of stuff going on in their 12th house. And so Aquarians are, I'm actually wanting to do their reading today. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. So there are some energies that we tend to hold on to because we think that we're supposed to be holding on to them instead of releasing them. We have such strong connections, right? But the 8 of Cups on the Lovers, some of us are realizing, and this was the message yesterday too. So some of y'all are, it's like some of you who maybe subscribe to, for example, subscribe to the twin flame experience or the twin flame relationship, or felt like you were supposed to be with one particular person in this lifetime. You're now realizing that maybe that person was just a part of your healing journey and was just a catalyst, right? A lot of people that subscribed to the twin flame experience weren't actually twin flames, but they wanted to believe it so bad because they thought that's how they would get the relationship with the person, but that's not how it works, ever, right? So you have to allow yourself to exist in a world that, you know, we get these things that come up quite often and there's a label put on it. Instead of finding out what like a divine partner means to you, we get ourselves attached to a label kind of thing. And I'm not discounting the twin flame experience. It is very real. It's just different than what a lot of people really placed their hopes and dreams on, because everybody wants, you know, we all want to be loved. We all want to have that partnership. We all want to know that we're special enough to be loved by another person. But I want to ask you, are you loving yourself first? Because if you are stuck in an idea of a particular type of person or a particular relationship or whatever, and it's been several years and you still aren't with that person or you're still not in that relationship, it's time for you to maybe think, okay, well, maybe that person was just a really big part of my journey and they're supposed to come back around later on down the road, but for right now, I can't think about that. There are some very hard truths that are coming out when it comes to systematic belief systems, you know, or the belief systems that we latch on to because it gives us hope, right? Temperance and the Four of Cups. And here's the thing, is there is that relationship out there for you, or there is that connection out there for you, but it's not going to approach you in the way that you think it is. It's going to look different than everything that you've ever thought it was. And when I say that, I mean everything, because you're not the same person that you were last year or 3 years ago or 4 years ago or 10 years ago. You're not the same person. You have evolved. Therefore, you have a different type, if you really want a type, right? Let's see what's at the bottom. Okay. Some of you are very much learning that your hermit time and the time that you are spending in silence and quiet is quite valuable to you. And with the Hermit on Temperance, you know, when I talk about finding inner peace, I literally can hear some people say that won't ever happen for me. That will never exist in me. I'm too chaotic of a person, or I can't quiet my mind, or I can't do this, or I can't do that. I gotta tell you guys, I mean, I was sort of, I was a chaotic mess before I found inner peace. And it's a journey. It's like I found inner peace, but I lose it on a daily basis, and then I have to re-find it again, right? So like that second workshop, the workshop that I did in January, where I talk about how to cultivate that present moment with yourself and how to start mindfully manifesting, because if we're not present in this moment and we're not allowing our mind to be in charge of everything that we're doing, and we're letting ourselves, our higher self, be in charge of the things that we're doing, we find that inner peace. But I also talk about how I am still mastering that concept for myself every single day. So I teach it to you guys, but it is such a wonderful and amazing concept to live by, that it's literally changing and evolving itself. It's not like being placed in a box of belief, because it's all of your beliefs. Being in that present moment and being mindful is legit mastering who you are. And that's all we're supposed to be doing. That's the whole point. You see? And this is exactly what the Hermit and Temperance is saying. It's all about self-mastery right now. All about self-mastery. And realizing that other people don't really actually control your emotions. You do. People say things, and then you can control how to react. So then we have the Page of Wands and Strength on the Four of Cups. And this is exactly what I'm saying. Like, you hear a message and you're so strong. You have built such a fortress inside of you that you cannot be bothered. Like I did this morning with the lady at Sephora. I feel like she woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Like, she woke up angry. It was really funny. And I just like looked at her and I was like, okay, I will do that. Okay, I will certainly look into that. Thank you. Oh, okay. All right. I mean, that's what I wanted to do. I was like, all right, could you like stop? I'm done. Like, I've heard it all. Crazy. Four of Wands at the bottom of the deck. And the Seven of Swords underneath that. Here's the thing, you guys, is your security and safety and stability and the way you feel about it is probably it's probably one of the best ways that you can manifest in your life, is when you believe in your safety and security. And I don't mean that in like an environmental kind of way. You have to believe that you're safe and secure within yourself first and foremost. And really make sure, and I know that I talk about boundaries all the time, but now it's more important now than it ever has been, to make sure that the boundaries that you're creating, you stick with. I've recognized and realized that my boundaries have been very lax lately, or they were in the past, for not lately. Lately, I'm putting my boundaries up and I'm voicing how I feel about things, and people don't like it because I was so lax in my boundaries before. People didn't understand that I was disrespecting myself as well as them disrespecting me, but they didn't think they were disrespecting me because I didn't know I needed that boundary. Do you see? So be very, very diligent. And if somebody wants, like, if somebody is making you feel guilty for having that boundary up, like, I legit made, like, somebody made me feel really, really guilty the other day for having a boundary, and they made it very personal. Like, they made it their problem. And I was like, this is not about you. This is about me having a boundary and you not respecting it because you're arguing with me. You see? So you have to really, even with people that you love, and if they love you, they will stick with you and they will understand and they will respect. The people that are not supposed to be in your group are the ones that are like, how dare you? Or they make you feel guilty for putting up a boundary. And I love you guys, and I harp on you to do all that because I do love you guys so very much. $30 one question readings are still available. Aquarius, your birthday special is also available. You can get a 1 hour reading with me for $100 or a 30-minute reading with me for $50. It's all on my website, fearlessintuition.net. Rush right on over there and get it. Get your spot. With the 1 hour readings, I am looking at birth charts as well. So if you want to get a 1 hour reading, because they're live, we'll actually put your birth chart up and I'll show you some really interesting things for your year. So it's pretty fun. And I love you. Have a wonderful day. I was like, is there anything that I'm missing? I don't know. I love you. Bye.